It's a fun game mode though. I actually think it's. I just wish there was like a little extra tacked on to the end, like an extra like 5 to 10 hours of goals once you unlock a lot of the stuff that I just unlocked. That would be amazing. But otherwise, very good. Alright, Man in the Moon. You are officially going to sponsor this series with your 54-month resub. Pretty sure I already had that alert last week. Don't say that! You can't descend... Can't what's the word I'm looking for? When something's official. Unofficialize. Corrupt. Oh, I don't know. You can't corrupt this. I just called you the sponsor of this game. We can't ruin that now. Let's get to the intros card. When this goes up as a YouTube VOD, people are going to log in and be like, can the guy start talking about something? It's been a minute. Top left-hand side, our Red Terran here in the quarterfinals of WardiTV Mondays 56 is Team Liquid's Clem. Taking on, in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player. From Virtus Pro, we have Classic. Alright, so, an opening game of this best of 3. We waited a little while to make sure we got into this one because Clem and Classic is one of those matchups that you really love to talk about lately. Classic's one of the hottest players in Korea. Clem is so good, and Clem does seem to be kind of finding his kind of pizzazz back in TVP a little bit right now. And last week he broke the losing streak against Classic with another series win against him. He wasn't quite on a losing streak, but that was now his like second win in 8 matchups against Classic, so able to start looking a bit better. Took down Hero, took down Maxbax. Clem in general has been looking a whole lot better. We're playing 10,000 feet, one of the maps from the recent Team Liquid map contest. Voting still open, by the way, for TLMC. If you want to vote on that, tl.net/TLMC, or you can ! maps in the chat, I believe. If you do so wish. And, yeah, just go and vote for your favorite Team Liquid map contest maps. Yeah, I added a few to the map pool for today, so we're going to be seeing some of them, such as 10,000 feet. This map I really enjoyed, because I actually really thought this map was super kind of fun to watch a lot of armies move around on. So, brought this one in, hoping that is something that we see a little bit more of here today. Factory building the Cyclone, the Command Center coming up, the Starport coming through. Settle in. And Twilight Council coming through, the Gateway, the Sentry, and the Warp Gate all building. And we just have our Cyclone still moving out into the center. Obviously, Classic from the Engineering Bay block did take that forward base. The only concern I have about that is exactly where we can kind of play with. You know, can Clem do a lot from the middle of the map here, sieging up that base and hit that mineral line or so? Stalkers and the Sentry out the left-hand side. There's the charge coming through. The bot's not working. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't have a YouTube bot. I mean, we have the stream elements, but I'm not used to updating it. Usually when I mention commands, no one in YouTube chat types them. The link you're looking for is tl.net/TLMC. So if you do want to find it, you can do that. I will work on getting a proper YouTube bot more properly set up with actual commands and things. Alright, well, we have about 4.5 minutes in this game. That first tank siege is up. And we will look to start applying some pressure here. We can hit a couple of patches of that mineral line already, so... I mean, surely as Classic you recognize that this is like a problem the moment you... I mean, I guess he does because he's going charge, so he is going to have the more active kind of group of units to kind of come out and deal with this. I love this Cyclone from Clem. He's looking to bait the charge early. All Classic needs to really do here is shut down the Siege Tank. Siege Tank goes down, you're okay. As long as you've got Zealots in the front, you can continue to fight, and that's exactly what he's looking to do. I don't know if I love the Zealots running into everything else. Now we lose a Sentry as well. All of that just for another Siege Tank to show up, but extra Zealots show up again. This time there's not as much firepower against these, so it's going to be a little different. And actually, I like that he pulls back with a few Zealots, because I think one more warp in of Zealots here, and he should be absolutely fine to deny this next Siege Tank attempt from Clem in the next few moments. So the Stalker just going to move over. Prism and the Dark Shrine. A couple of probes coming about. Going to see a couple of Stalkers going to fight there. I mean, I'm kind of surprised the Classic went so aggressively across the map. We got a couple of SCVs. Just going to have the Stalkers getting one more SCV at the end there. I mean, this is okay, but it's expensive. You're giving up all of these early Zealots. +1 coming over. I'm just going to see the Temple Archives and the Dark Shrine coming up. Next is on the way through. A couple of probes building in. Assimilator coming online. And again, Stimpack and +1 continuing about. And Stim Combat +1 all continue to come around. Just getting settled in there. PvT showing up obviously going to make this a little bit more complicated. I have a couple of SCVs going down. I'm just going to be seeing the Zealots going to get after. A couple of DTs moving about as well. Just going to be seeing the Tech Labs continue to take some shots. SCVs continue to gather about. 5 workers going down. This has definitely become a little bit of a challenge right here. Vikings moving up over the sides for a couple of moments. We have ourselves the Bio gonna get one more scan of 82 to 60 supply in this game. So Clem is ahead on supply heavily. Classic does some damage. He's obviously still got DTs to keep Clem back, perhaps. Gonna see whether he can find more. He has bought himself time to at least get Storm up as well. Still going to be denied. Just going to see the Bio coming about. Going in and getting a few more shots off. So again, just having to deal with those Dark Templar. Taking some hits initially still as the combat shield and that blink continues to come through for the moment. I gets over, a couple of Vikings gather around. Gonna be seeing the Storm coming through, a few Marines taking damage. You know, the Storm onto the siege tank. Classic stepping forward aggressively, but man, he just doesn't have the whole game. I feel like Classic hasn't had the numbers. But like, where is the what was he expecting to happen here? Like, was Storm gonna kill everything? Like, he needed like 10 to 15 Zealots with this, but probably not even 10 to 15 Zealots. Like 5 to 10 Zealots would have made it somewhat engageable. He didn't have a single Zealot in sight though, and I think again just Classic maybe a little behind from those early stages. A lot of losses early because of that has been putting him in a bit of a weirder place. Just have the combat shield finishing up, 1-1 coming through on the other direction. Again, a couple of barracks coming online as well. Robo Bay building here from Classic. Bringing that up, getting that through. A few extra Zealots warping in as well. And the Prism going to unload into the main base here. There's a few Zealots getting after the SCVs. Well, scan coming down. Bio going to continue after those probes. Bring a lot of those High Templar back. Again, the Bio gathering up. A couple of Vikings joining as well. That Ghost Academy not far from being done either. So again, that Ghost Academy completed. And get some ghosts on the way. Classic has clawed himself back in supply here as both players take some losses. The Stalkers do not have the kill on that full medevac. That's a shame. And SCV is still falling. Just going to be having the Medevac's gathering. The 1-1 upgrade's finishing soon. Nice couple of storms. It's going to get in after those SCVs. Colossus coming up. Classic, I mean, up in supply now, man. He's had a lot of weird moments in this game, and yet here we are. He's absolutely competitive. He's got high Templars looking to get some storms across this line. Well, SCV is going to go down to that Bio Gathering Viking Medevac coming through. What's going to be there? The Prism just gets shoved away. And you're going to see the rest of the Bio just unloading. Still out to the left. The High Templar pull back a little bit as well. +2 attack, +2 armor. Thermal Lance coming online. Going to drop one more Storm in toward the SCVs there. The few Zealots are thinking about taking a charge forward into everything else. Now up on the top side, we got a few units from Classic looking to try and break through as well. That was a big EMP apparently. Those High Templar all out of energy now, so maybe an issue, but at the same time, do we even need the High Templar energy as Clem just kind of runs in over here and he's just going to fall apart. This was such a weird game. Man. Clem just started having a bad... And kick ourselves into game number 2. In the top right-hand side, our red Terran player who's going to be down one map is going to be Team Liquid's Clem. He has been leaning a lot into the kind of earlier game of TVP again recently, so we'll see if that continues here. As in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss is Classic up 1 in the best of 3. Yeah, making it work, Classic. He was, honestly, I think, like I say, in a lot of trouble at a lot of points. Took a couple of risks, put himself back in position, kept himself going. Great job to reset himself and get back on track. I still question the decision to move out with all those High Templar and to try and win the game by, or win a fight by just storming and having like an Immortal and 5 Stalkers behind the storm. Like, maybe we shouldn't initiate those kind of fights, right? Maybe we shouldn't initiate those kind of fights if we can avoid it. Barracks SCV coming online. Gate and a probe being produced as we get settled on in. He gets the probe, nibbles down, nice couple of grabs. Command center being placed, orbital command coming up, that Reaper very much so on the way through as well. I'm just going to see our Cybercore and Nexus both coming up right here. A simulator building also for the moment. Do we have some fun coming in from Clem? Does he have some aggression planned in these early moments, or what is he going to try and look for as we get this underway? Coming up, the factory's on the way through, commencing the building as well. There's the Reaper actually going to get a jump onto this probe already, so this probe going to take some damage, a few shots coming over, and we're going to see a couple of those probes getting bopped around for the moment. A couple of probies still falling. Stalk going to get that, Reaper gets chased. Dep gets rid of, yeah, I mean, just gets in and just tries to make something happen. Has 1 kill on it. Bunker going to make it hard to get anything else, and obviously units will be here eventually, so probably just worth shading away. This Adept's not going to do much else. Got 1 more Adept off on the Marine. Now you're going to shade back into the Reaper on the middle of the map, though, so taking those shots off the Marine suddenly doesn't seem as okay. As the Reaper is super low. Got a dance here. Micro War. Oh, the Shade Away is going to go down. Blink and the gate continue to come on through. A couple of SCVs, Marines, and the starport still building. The tech lab coming online. And yeah, gateway probes and the blink continue through as well. So just bringing a lot more of that on the way in right here. Reaper Hellion joining up. Stalker going to come around. Just going to see the Stalker there. Going to go in after the Hellion as well for a couple of moments. That wants to try and get that Reaper. Looking for it right here. Just going to be having the Hyperflight Rotors on the way, by the way, too. So Clem bringing that Hyperflight up. The Sentry coming about the probe, taking some damage, and the Sentry continues to chase the Reaper away to the side where the probe comes in and is able to get that nibble. A little bit of a nibble off going. Again, banishing the cloaking coming through. Banishing the speed coming through. Just so used to seeing Banshee in a tech lab and saying I'm Banshee and cloak, but obviously Hyperflight Rotors is more common now than it ever used to be. And it's genuinely very good as well. Like, Terrans are really using it well. It's been really kind of a joy to watch these speedy Banshees kind of getting by and finding work and finding value. It's also kind of brought some of the Phoenix play back as well, because if you do get Phoenix up against this, it's really nice for you, obviously, as the Phoenix player. Not that it's necessarily going to make you just play Phoenix, but it's like an added bonus to if you do play Phoenix and the Terran doesn't see it, then there's a good chance that you can obviously kind of catch those Banshees as well. So the Phoenix are a bit more playable again now that the Cyclone is no longer bugged and is fixed, so that does look a lot more reasonable as the gates and the charge continue through. It's an Observer in production currently from Classics. Again, that Observer started. And yeah, those batteries still coming online as well. Stim and Combat Shield build with a couple of Marauders coming into play. Hellion to the bottom side, and two Stalkers warp immediately in to try and meet said Hellion, chasing it away, back up the other direction, and away it goes. Ciao and see you later. There's a lot of Marines gonna come by and actually gonna run straight through there, just gonna start pressing straight in. We're gonna try and grab a few of those Stalkers as well. There's the double Banshee. Miss queued at the moment. They finally started to get a couple of one-shots. It's nice blink. Obviously, the Banshees have that speed, so they can turn. Love the Stalker split from Classic. Great job. Unfortunately, you can see the power of those speed Banshees. They just still managed to get past, and both Banshees get out alive, and they got 5 more probes in the process of doing that turnaround. Beautiful play, and shows you exactly the power of those Banshees and why they can be so good, and exactly why they can still see so much value now with that speed upgrade. Clem starts to send them home. He's fighting in the center. Charge finish, but the 2 Zealots out here go down. The Sentry obviously can't move back like the Stalkers can, so it will go down too. I'm losing Marines, but nothing really otherwise. The couple of tanks will siege. The Stalkers step away one more time for the moment. Hey, what's up, Ascalon? How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 69-month resub. Appreciate it. Nice. Thank you so much for the 69, and I appreciate you continuing to support as our bio. Getting a little bit caught into this fight here. Now some extra Zealot show up. That's why I get a bit more worried for Clem. He does save that first siege tank, drops it down, lets it die to the Zealots. Maybe would have just been better to be left in the medevac. As he tries to pull back with the Prism here, Classic will reinforce very quickly, and can he overwhelm? With the bunker and the Banshees there, I really don't think overwhelming is a factor or a thing at all. So I'm going to say no, probably not, but we shall see. Temple Archives and the Forge coming up, the next is coming through. Maybe seeing the Viking Marine Marauder Concussive Shells building as well. The Banshees continue to escape. Zealot Stalker coming over. Continue to run around for the moment. Concussive Shells still very much so on the way in there. The couple of Banshees coming by. Ghost Academy coming up. Marauder coming through. Let's see if a few Stalkers going to be there to hit a little bit of that bio. We're actually going to get back in. Well, feedback's coming down as well. Bio tank joining together. The Vikings going to land over here to clean up that prism. So we are going to shut down the attempted harass of Classic. I'm having to pull away. Losing medevacs, not able to pull them back. All of those medevacs in danger. 3 out of 4 go down as Stalkers just went bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Because, yeah, those medevacs, usually you'll see the Terrans pull them back. Ghosts coming through, the armor upgrade coming about as well. Armor upgrades coming about, Robo Facility in the bay coming through, actually a couple of gates coming about. High Templar coming around, just going to be seeing this bio settling as we do see Classic looking to attempt to get forward. One upgrades coming over. Again, Robo Facility, Robo Bay. Coming about as well. And armor upgrades and the attack upgrades finished from Classic will make things a bit easier for him. A Thermal Lance and Colossus switch on the way through too, so really getting into the latest stage of this TVP right now. Thermal Lance coming through, +2 attack, +2 armor coming about. And the 2-2 Thermal Lance then going to be done soon. So he's going to get there. Widow Mine's going to get picked off. A couple of feedbacks onto the ghosts. There's a couple of storms as well. Zone just stops a lot of that army coming through without being hurt. Well, EMP comes down. The High Templar get chased. Let's just have a couple of ghosts still coming through. The 2-2 upgrades and the ship weapons continue to come about. With a mine shot going off, the Fusel's going to take some hits. Again, the 2-2 and the Prisoner Speed coming about as the army comes over. Missile turret and the Sensor Tower coming about. And just have our upgrades continuing through. The ship weapons coming by, the cloak coming in. Command center's in the way again, very much so saying, hey, let's get into this late game here. Storm to hit a few of those Marines. Classic with the base count definitely looking great. His own 2-2 going to be matching as well, so upgrades really do look good across the board. Currently, the Vikings are going to be there as the Colossus take some damage. Stalkers get pushed back already. Both sides maxed out. Big warping from Classic over on the left, but this is a big chase down from Clem. Going to get 2 of these Colossus already. Units on the left side will play defense already. Nicely done. EMPs go down, still looking for a little extra here. Is this an okay fight for Clem? He has an EMP or 2 available. If he can hit the High Templar, he gets the front 3 again, but the 3 in the back still have energy for the moment, so Clem still trading well enough. The fact he defended so well top left side is a big deal. Classic trying to mass expand, but I think Clem is actually going to have the chance to go and deny some of these bases. This split right now looks pretty reasonable for him. There's a lot of zealots over here, mind you. That might be a lift up and get out of that moment. Clem has to identify the situation, but Classic was paying more attention, gets the blink on the full medevac. Good job from Classic, and a lot of units there all of a sudden. The Classic's benefit really is the base count, having so many locations to play from. Those storms are actually not good for Classic, because they are going to hit a lot of his own units as he runs through. What was that storm? I don't know. Yeah, Classic eating a lot of storm damage right now, as we do see Clem going to try and fight EMPs, those Archons. They go down very quickly from there. Just has to pull back into the choke point, so the Zealots can't do as much. But she has the CC in the sky still. Currently being reduced down to a 4-base Terran. Doesn't feel terrible, but then you think about the fact that Classic has 7 bases available, then it doesn't feel great. That said, Classic is playing 4 bases, basically just 4 bases. Yeah, there's like 1 base that's not saturated that maybe could be. I mean, Classic has good income, so does Clem. For now, the income difference is a little bit favoring Classic, but Clem is being trading way better. The most important thing for Clem is just secure base 5. If he can mine from a 5th base here on Tokamak, I don't think there's going to be that many problems for him. I think he's going to be A-okay. So he just needs to get to that kind of 5th base, and then he's trading well enough to stay in the game from there. It's just 4 bases. At 15 minutes, starts to get a little scary when the main and natural begin to mine out. Get that 5th base down, secure that, and I think Clem's going to be absolutely fine, pending how the fights continue to go, because obviously, you know, TVP still is going to be super, you know, engagement dependent. But the state of the game is okay for Clem with the 5th base mining. But he has Classic to try and play deny on that. Clem is on his way over. The Vikings could take a detour to the south. He should know that those Colossus are likely going to be coming across. Trying to siege up some libs. One Colossus comes in from the other side completely. Liberator is being targeted down. The High Templar will scare Clem from chasing completely, but there's no detection, and Clem's realized it, and he's going to go sniping the High Templar. You gotta love that. 3 of them go down. Maybe 1 EMP would have been worth it, just so, you know, if you don't snipe them all, you have no energy on them anyway. At this point, Clem's going to start playing the chasing game. What can we do with those storms? 1 more Colossus going down, but another 1 fight from Clem here. 16 minutes deep on Tokamak. 19 to 15,000 resources lost at the moment. 3-3 upgrades will continue through as well, so continue to bring that straight up into play. The Colossus Stalker Zealot comes back into the center. A little bit of bio out over to the sides. And a couple of prisms coming through. The 3-3 upgrades coming about. Just going to see Classic still working around the right side. Liberator sieges. Missile turret gets a KO on an Observer to begin with as well. Stargate and Obs both building through. We just have ourselves the ship weapons. And the rest all continuing by. A couple of pylons coming out. Also getting those on the way. Command Center will finish very shortly. Those extra refineries are still building by. The Ghost looking for some value. And a couple of snipes once again. And those are High Templar just vanishing into the air. That is potential storm energy just gone, which is absolutely huge. We still push across. Vikings going to try and get forward onto those Colossus. The bio gathering together. A couple of Liberators sieging nicely and just going to zone this area very well. The probes, you can see, having to pull away just a little bit. +3 ship weapons coming through. We add on those Ghosts. We add on that command center. And get a lot of this underway. With, yeah, Clem heading in a very good direction. Classic going to split a couple of those prisms and hit a couple different bases. And obviously trying to shut down production. Clem getting a big push successfully to the bottom side. There's still bases top left from Classic. Clem has not been able to get to those just yet. So that's going to be something Classic hangs on to for the moment. As Clem obviously does have to focus on getting back home. He needs to clean up these Zealots. He needs to handle this harassment, otherwise you lose a lot of your production. Obviously that's not going to be pretty. Libs just sieging up all across the base. Zealots will run out of space to run to. And this will get cleaned up. This will go down. But if buys Classic time, he gets reset here. And actually, he finds himself these medevacs in the group of units in the bottom right side. As Clem has most of his medevacs just going down right there. DTs do knock down this planetary as well. Now Clem has a replacement base straight away. But nice from the DTs, who are going to stick around a teeny bit longer. You need to be careful though. Liberators are still set. I just don't love Classic's army. I think overall, I look at Classic's force and it's not good enough. There's 1 High Templar left in the game. There's 3 Colossus, which, like, this army is like a 9-minute army, right? Like, if you show up to Clem's base at 9 minutes with this army, I'm like, ooh, I'm a little bit scared. You show up to Clem's base at 18 minutes with this army, and I'm not scared at all. And I think that's the issue that Classic currently has. Now, he's doing a great job of staying split and continuing to get work done. As the CC probably has to lift up to avoid being taken down by the DT damage. Classic pokes back up the right-hand side once again. Stalker Colossus pressing forward. The Bayun's taking some damage. The Viking's going to be right there as well. The Storm coming straight in. The Vikings are still really chasing. And that army is going to continue to get pushed away. Colossus going down. The Stalker's going down. And there's a massive warping in the main base once again. So again, Clem wins the big fight. Just needs to get a handle on the harassment because Classic has thrown thousands of resources into Clem's bases. Let's clean up on the left side as well. Look at Classic's supply plummet in these last few moments, by the way. That army size, yeah, lucky to go down because he lost the main fight. And everything that he has left is just... It's kind of superficial, like, oh, I'm going to throw it here and there. It's kind of just like throwaway units. The problem is when all you've got is throwaway units, you're not in a great spot. It's so close to working simply for the fact that Clem has been kept down base-wise. You know, like, Clem is on the verge of not having much mining left. He's only got 45 SCVs remaining. It was worse than that before. He's building 7 at a time. Flip right up. It's going to get after a couple of workers. We do have the bio pushing to the bottom. Going to find this blue gold base. Got some probes here for free, which is nice, because right now you actually do want to stop just straight up mining. And guess who's arriving in the top left? Man, we have so many Vikings. Those Colossus are not going to last. Maybe they will if we get good storms. That's actually a very good storm. The base goes down, and Clem will not have a fifth. Clem up about 40 army supply. Again, he has to just go and just believe that he can win against... Yeah, he just needs to believe he can win out against the opposing army. Stalker just going to come across. Bio going to be chased. Just going to be seeing the army continue to pull back. The Medevac's going to pull away as well. I mean, Classic is just throwing these units in, but he just doesn't have what he needs. And he had a massive bank before. That's not going to be the case now. He's not going to leave right here because he's going to believe he can warp in a bit more and maybe make something happen still. I mean, this top left base is zoomed. I don't think we should go after the base here as Clem. Leave that Nexus. Get the probes. Probably just continue to chase units down. Classic's already flinging other units at Clem. He is throwing everything he possibly can towards Clem's side of the map. And so Clem has to just, again, prioritize what he does here. He actually does go after the bases. Fine. I don't hate it. I honestly think he could have just chased the army, but obviously we see it from our perspective. From Clem, it's not an easy game to read because there's been so many trades over so much time, and Classic has had a lot of bases. Being able to go after the army says, I know I'm comfortably ahead. He may not know that Classic is truly out of money right now, so... I think going after the base is probably the safer play if you don't have full information. Bio gathering, a couple of zealots, taking some shots. The Vikings going to get after those Colossus. A couple High Templar going to get jumped on as well. There is an Archon that begins to move as the Bio pulls back and peels away. Just going to see the Vikings going to get there for the Colossus. A couple more zealots will go down. Continue to play cleanup on this as these Stalkers go back the other way. Classic has to say GG, and we get ourselves game 3 after a beautiful game on Tokamak. Clem and Classic throwing units at each other non-stop. I mean, he has a lot of bases. He can't just build a pure tech-based army. If he wants to build a pure tech-based army, he needs to take much less aggressive fights. And then you can't really keep the base count up as heavily as you have been because you give Clem a lot more control of the game. So you kind of have this choice as a Protoss. Do you let Clem kind of be a lot more competitive in terms of base count? And you kind of play into this really teched out and fleshed out army? Or do you do what Classic did in that last game, which is to just throw units repeatedly at the opposition, keep that base count low, and keep yourself in this kind of good position and keep yourself in a good aggressive place? There's really kind of a big question mark about it, I'd say. There's not really kind of an obvious choice which one you go for. It's a little bit player dependent. Classic went for the, I'm going to throw units at you and try and keep my base alive by keeping you super busy. It very nearly worked. Like, realistically, Clem was already, I think, in a good position for a lot of this game anyway, but Classic, what he did later on, still put himself within a reach of winning. So, again, it shows a really kind of cool kind of aspect of, like, yes, Terran's down on bases, but they're down on bases because the Protoss is really in a position to throw things as much as possible. Alright. Clem bottom right. And Classic upper left as we get into Game 3 on Ruby Rock. Next is going through Cybercore, building about halfway down Factory, Reaper and the Orbital. All coming up as well as we take a couple of moments. Yeah, next in the assembler, both building about the factory, coming through. The Reaper is on the way as that probe of Classic heads straight through the natural and in toward the main base. For a little bit of a peek to see what exactly is going to happen. Still going to be there. Reaper again pushed back the other way. Just having the warp gate coming through. Sentry in the Nexus coming up. Gate coming online. Twilight Council coming about. Gets settled in for a moment or so. The two Reapers will poise to try and find something, as it is just that Twilight Council. And the Hallucination Classic as well. The Hallucination giving him information. The Twilight Council. The real tech choice here is 2 Reapers and a Hellion will say, oh, we like the look of a Sentry. Put some damage on the Stalker at first, which is a shame. This could have been an easier Sentry kill, and maybe the other Reapers are a little bit healthier here, get into this natural. As we look to build into some work kills as well. That's 1 Reaper and a Hellion so far, but 3 workers. And I say a Hellion's actually going to make a getaway here. So 1 Reaper for 3 workers and a Sentry. That's a really good starting point from Clem. Gets good damage done right away. Really good beginning as the blink comes up, the warp gate comes through, Marines and a medevac on the way about also, and a couple of Widow Mines setting up off to the sides. Alongside everything else, a couple of Stalkers get some shots off, pushing back up to the top as well so far. A couple of Widow Mines continue through, the Stalkers still moving. That blink is coming up here on the side of Classics. Again, that blink on the way. We will get the Marines there. They pick off that probe. 1 Marine goes down. The Hellion going to step forward as well. 2nd Marine going down. Reaper hops up, and a couple of Stalkers still want to try and play after said Reaper. The Banshee in production. A couple of Marines going to be a part of that. Widow Mine is dangerous because those probes are stacked. Oh, Classic. No. No, 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 no. Always sad when you have a really cool series and then you just think the Widow Mine's not going to connect. Sometimes the probes kind of take a little turn into the main that you just don't expect them to turn. It keeps them in range a little longer. I mean, that is... yeah. I mean, that's just not it. He obviously believed that those probes were going to get out of reach, and they just did not. So, unfortunately, that's for Classic. That is not the end of the game, but it's going to be a mountain to climb because now you're behind heavily on workers. Clem is back. It was already bad early, by the way. Like getting 3 workers in the Sentry early was already amazing for Clem. So this just capitalizes on that, and there's even more damage being done. These Stalkers make a blink for the tank. This might just be GG. If he doesn't kill the tank there, I wonder if he just leaves the game because. It was such a commitment. If you don't get the tank kill, it's got to feel bad, and you just threw away your Stalkers, then maybe you just get out of there. But even still, I mean, Clem's killing workers across the map again, by the way, because the Banshee shows up. Observer is not ready because your entire build is being thrown off of its kind of typical timings. The probes are running, the Observer's going to pop, but only after a few more losses, and Clem knows the timing is coming. So he's going to take a turn with the Banshee, and he should get away before the Stalkers are able to get a kill. And that is 11 more probes. Man, first 3 workers, then 11, then 3, and now 11 again. It just keeps happening, although that one actually might have been on the back of the 3 from before anyway. It doesn't really make much difference as Clem is basically pushing across the map away from winning right now, and obviously that's being stopped by Classic's aggression with this Prism. Knowing he has to make some big things happen, he's committed all the Stalkers into the main base and is just going to try and micro like an absolute king to try and get a win here. Going to get a few Zealots warping in as well. They don't have charge or anything. He's just going to try and give them a little bit of, like, you know, to give these Stalkers a bit of tankiness or so. But everything's going down. The Marine Banshee doing a great job. And now we're going to try and cut off this Prism with the Marines as well. We've got them in both directions. There's a Viking on the way, by the way, too. So that Prism is on a time and might have to just drop the recall to get out of there. But surely if the Prism goes down, that is the nail in the coffin for Classic, who may be just about kind of stopping the lid from kind of, you know, closing in on him just yet. Banshee show up. There's the recall. The Viking's about to be there, and that is going to be, like I said, the recall good, and the Prism gets away. But man, like 36 to 16 army supply. We're talking 46 to 38 worker count. The position here for Clem is so good. Really hard to kind of, again, be positive on the other side. This one, the stem coming about. Marine Marauder continuing through. Going to see a couple Stalkers going to drop about. Going to see a few of those SCVs beginning to go down. The Stimpack Combat Shield and +1 all coming through. Is just going to see the Banshees continue to swing away. Stalker's taking a good bit of damage. That's going to be the Prisms getting chased back. The Marine Tank. And he's pushing forward again. I mean, hard to really, again, make this ending too excellent. Storm's about to be done. We might see a couple of good storms to give Clem a taste of Protoss just before this game wraps up. It's one. Tank's obviously in position. Hard to really say much else. Results going down. The High Temper still pushing through. Feedbacks onto the Banshees. GG's. Clem takes game 3 of the series. And that wraps us up.